That's all I'm thinking about this morning, what's going on in Israel. I mean,
yeah,
I was in Israel, very close to Prime Minister Netanyahu,
yeah,
very close to former Prime Minister Olmert. They're 25-year-long friends of mine, and it reminded me of the time when I was mayor and there was a bus bombing in Jerusalem. The first thing I did was go to Jerusalem and ride the bus with then Mayor Olmert to show people you can get back on the bus, it can be safe. I remember being there with my wife Judith after the bombing at this bar pizzeria. We went to see this little girl who had all shrapnel in her face. My wife's a nurse, and my wife has actually helped her get plastic surgery over the years, and we've kind of stayed in contact with her.
What is the solution to this situation in the Middle East? I mean,
wow. I probably would have won the Republican nomination for president in 2008 if I could have actually figured out the solution.
But this has been going on for a long while, right? This has been going on for a long while. It's very tense at the moment.
All I can give you is my solution. And everybody has their own. My solution is to treat Hamas for what it is, a terrorist organization, and stop all this silliness about negotiating with them and talking to them and empowering them. And if Turkey and Egypt want to empower them, well, the heck with Turkey and Egypt.
That's tricky, though, isn't it? Because Turkey is a NATO member and is a very important ally of the US.
But I mean, for this guy Erdogan to say that Israel's a terrorist state, where's he gone? I mean, he's gone off the cliff now, right? I mean,
well, he said that before. That's not new. I mean, he said that recently, but he also said
maybe he's been off the cliff for a while. But I mean, the reality is, how many times are you going to let your country get? They were bombed 130 times yesterday. 130 times.
That's a
lot. And our Secretary of State is there asking Netanyahu to exercise restraint. I'd have a hard time with that. I'd say to the Secretary of State, exactly what are you asking me to do? You want me to get bombed 130 times? Maybe 160? So she asked him to exercise restraint. He did. He didn't invade. And then he wakes up the next morning and he's got 20 people, whatever it is, injured on a bus. They haven't had a terrorist bombing in 6 years. They get a terrorist bombing in the middle of Tel Aviv, right across from the military headquarters.
Yeah, and we
how long would we take that? How long would America take our cities being bombed, our buses being bombed, our people being killed? Look, the Palestinians may be terrible shots, and the Iron Dome may work really well, but 130 bombs starts hitting your city, and you got 4 people dead, and now you got 20 people injured.
Should the U.S. be more involved? I know there are U.S. troops in Israel. There are also U.S. troops in Jordan, and there are British troops in Turkey now.
The U.S. should be more supportive. The U.S. should not treat Israel and then Hamas and the Palestinian Authority as moral equivalents. They're not. The Palestinian Authority is a home for terrorists. If we keep going in the direction that we're going, what are we proposing? We're proposing a Palestinian state that will be a home for terrorists. We've got enough state sponsors of terrorism. Why exactly is it in our interest to create another state sponsor of terrorism? So we've got to clean out and clean up the Palestinian Authority if we want to support statehood for it. Now,
how do you clean it up? You said clean it up. I mean,
Fatah is a corrupt organization.
Okay.
The vaunted Arafat stole billions of dollars from his people, which is why they're starving.
But he's gone now.
He's gone, but you're seeing the after effects of that because nobody trusts Fatah, because the big secret about Arafat with all the statues of him, he was a big crook. He stole their money. They're starving because that money is sitting in the south of France with Mrs. Arafat. So Fatah is useless. Hamas is a terrorist organization.
Okay.
So
are there any candidates for a non-corrupt organization?
Well, I think what you've got to do is clean out Hamas.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a new generation of Fatah can emerge. I think Abbas is an improvement over Arafat. Abbas doesn't seem to have the confidence of his people, but maybe if you could wipe out the Hamas encampments in Gaza, you'd end up with leveling the playing field so that Abbas could kind of emerge as the person we could negotiate.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And so he could emerge.
Abu Mazen is his nickname.